Okay, hi everybody. This is my last attempt to recreate, which eye do I have done here? To recreate this look. I decided to go with something a little bit bronzy. It's starting to be summertime, so I picked a bunch of coppers and bronzes and golds and really pretty summery shades that look great on tan skin. Just remember, wear your sunscreen. So what happened was this is the third time basically that I'm doing this. My memory card decided it was going to be full and stopped recording in the middle of what I was doing, so I had to go through and delete a bunch of things off my camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up where I left off, but I'm going to explain to you all the things that I've done so far, starting now. So the first thing that I did obviously is I primed my eyelid. And I used one by Urban Decay. It's the eyeshadow primer potion. This is the little one, but they come in larger sizes. My base shadow was from Prescriptives. Now, Prescriptives is out of business. The palette that I used was this one right here. It's called Color Scope Eye Color, and it was a fall one. But the shadow that I used was called Relic. Now, obviously, if you don't have Relic, you're going to need to use something different, in which case, if I can find it, is right here. You can use a L'Oreal Shadow Duo, and this one is from their High Intensity Pigment collection, the HIPs, and it's called Saucy. And I used this really coppery one to, compromise for the Relic if you don't have it. It's really similar. So the next thing that I did was something that I like to call reverse highlighting, and I took another copper shadow that's a little bit brighter than the first one that I used, and this one was out of a Maybelline shadow quad, and it was this second one in right here, this one, and I call it reverse highlighting because usually you highlight by the eyebrow, but this time I took, just regular flat shadow brush again, and I took it and I went from the inner corner of my eye all the way right about halfway. And a good way to determine where you're going is if you were to open your eye and look, it's about right at the end of your pupil, like where your pupil stops as far as like from the inside corner of your eye to the outer corner, winds up being right in the middle. So you can see when I closed my eye, I went just about that far over. Okay, and we're going to do some more highlighting, but the next thing that I'm going to do, and this is where I left off, so I'm going to get, sorry, I'm so disorganized now because I got up a bunch of times. My phone was ringing and it just was crazy. So the next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of contouring. We're going to create a little bit of dimension here. Tapered brush, and I'm going to use, there's my phone again. I can't, this is impossible. I can't catch a break tonight. So we're going to ignore it. Pretend like you don't hear it. You like my ringtone though, don't you? So if you ever had a Crayola crayon box, one with the 96 shades, you probably know what I'm talking about. This color looks like burnt sienna. This shadow quad though, like I said, it's from Maybelline, and it's called Irresistibly Ivy, and the color that we're using is this one right here, and it looks like the crayon burnt sienna. So anyways, whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the outer corner of my eye here, from my lash line kind of up on a diagonal, right like this, and a little bit over, not directly in the crease of my eye, kind of above it, almost right towards my brow bone here, and I'm going to go a little bit farther in than I usually do. I'm just going to kind of blend a little bit of that in there to create a little bit of dimension. Okay, so now that I did that, I'm going to take a gold shadow. Now this one's by Victoria's Secret. I'm not overly fond of this one, and the reason why, I love the color, don't get me wrong, it's great. It's called 24K, and it's a sparkle. But the reason why I don't like it is that it doesn't stick to my brush very well. And it's almost as if God almighty. It's almost as if it was a cream shadow, and I'm gonna kind of try and show you. But see how it's like really powdery and kind of weird? But when you put it on your lid, it almost looks creamy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of this on here as best I can. This is a smudger brush. It's from MAC. It's number 228. And I'm going to get a little of that on there. And I'm going to go on the inside corner of my eye, right by my tear ducts. And put a little of this in here. And I'm going to kind of drag it down this way. And up here.